Another series that should be a little bit more competitive is, the Pacers and the Heat, right? I mean, you got TJ Warren heating up in the bubble. You got Jimmy Butler, he's talking mad shit again, right? That's what the NBA is missing a lot now these days, right? You got players that are a little bit too friendly with each other in the court.
Feel how things are between you two right now.
Don't care. I don't need friends here in the bubble. I barely leave my room. I'm in my.
Like, I'm not saying, in the 2000s, the 90s, everyone was not friends, right? In the 80s, I'm not saying that. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird are friends, right? Michael Jordan is friends with, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, or he used to be friends with Charles Barkley. But, MJ was friends with them. He was friends with a lot of people, what's it called? Like, LeBron James, friends with the draft class of 2003 of Wade, Melo, and such. Bosh, Chris Paul. I'm not saying that. The NBA is a bunch of friends, right? But what's lacking in the NBA is just rivalries of just competitive nature, where certain teams just straight up just don't like each other, right? It's what's really been missing in the NBA. You got the Lakers and the Kings back in the day where they didn't even like each other. The Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers, they didn't like each other. Now, I don't know about the Spurs and the Lakers, but about hate, but it was just based off a rivalry, right? Where they're always meeting up with each other in the semis or the finals. You got what else teams that didn't even like each other, right? You got, obviously, the Boston Celtics and the Cavaliers with LeBron James and the Big Three and over there in the East. Then you got the Boston Celtics and the Heat, where they didn't like each other, stuff like that. It's what's missing in the NBA as of now. Certain teams just, there's not much team that just don't like each other, like back in the day. But now, you got Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren scuffling with each other. Now, that's that game where they were playing against, in the bubble, where TJ Warren was looking like, dude was like, who is he? Like, who's he looking like? Kawhi Leonard right now? Allen Iverson or what? I mean, this dude was just killing it. He was just heating up. Dude was dropping 30 plus points every day, right? Then they meet up against the Heat and he got locked down. He got straight locked. He was doing too much. He wanted to prove that, he was waiting to talk, fire back at Jimmy Butler for calling him soft, and he's not in my league.
Noticed the middle finger from him, and was the blowing of the kiss.
He's soft. He's not even in my fucking league, nowhere near me. And if I was their coach, I would never put him on me ever again. He's no, put somebody else on me, because I'm a Taz every time we play. He's trash.
Now, Jimmy Butler's had an interesting season, right? Where you can tell he's dramatically improved the Heat defense and the culture, but at the same time, his scoring is not really that great. His jumper is just off this season. It's just broken. What is going on? Yeah, I know he's playing the point forward role now and stuff. He's not really a scorer. I mean, he's super streaky when it comes to scoring, but it's even streakier now when he's on the Heat. I know the Heat rely a lot on Duncan Robinson, Tyler Herro, Kendrick Nunn for scoring and such. I know they rely on those guys. So Jimmy's I could try to average 20, plus, points and get as much shots as I can, but, I'll let these dudes handle it. I mean, everyone's trying to zero in on me because I'm the main guy on the Heat, but, it's just really interesting. What happened to this guy's offense? Straight up, what happened? So, this series, I think, should go to 7 only if Sabonis comes back, right? I think the Heat take it. They beat the Pacers in probably like 6, right? Like if Sabonis came back, I think the Pacers probably might upset the Heat. Well, I mean, not really much of an upset because now, Oladipo's still getting his rhythm. Malcolm Brogdon's there. TJ Warren's playing. He's improved his play dramatically. And then you add Sabonis on the team. It's a pretty difficult team to deal with, right? But I think Sabonis, like, he's out into the second round. So, this is the Pacers, one shot of, going further. But, I think the Heat are too much for the Pacers. I mean, yeah, Oladipo is still kind of off. I mean, he'll have his on and off nights, getting back in rhythm of his, quad issue that he's have been dealing with. But, I think, Heat's defense are ramped up in the playoffs, and we'll see what these rookies are made out of. Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Herro. Like, we'll see like what happens. Like, they're kind of overachieving now because no one really had a thought of the Heat being as good as they are now. Bam, improving as much. Like him being an all-star this season. No one really thought about that. No one really thought about Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Herro, putting off performances like that. Duncan Robinson leading the league in like 3-point made and attempts, I think. So, it should be competitive. I mean, it should be competitive, right? TJ Warren, this is not the last you've heard of TJ Warren, man. And he's gonna have more chances to show, Jimmy Butler who's in whose league right now. And this is gonna be the fun series. I mean, you can talk about the Sixers and the Celtics. The Sixers are trash, right? Like I thought they should, Ben Simmons out is over. Their run is over. Fire Elton Brand is over. You got, the Bucks. The Bucks should sweep the Magic. You got, the Nets. The Nets should be swept by the Raptors, right? So this is the East's most, competitive and fun series to watch, right? So right now, yeah, place your bets right now. Who you betting on? You betting on, Jimmy G buckets, or you betting on Bubba Warren right now? And both guys didn't really play that well. Like in that game at all, they just didn't play that well. So I think like TJ shot like 35%, and then Jimmy shot 38%. So I'm like, ugh, like what's going on here? So, the East is gonna get pretty spicy in the semifinals. Much like the West. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Heat in 6, and Jimmy G buckets probably is gonna talk mad shit to TJ Warren again. So we'll see.